Next up in the burnout phrase is the letter N for neglect. You're neglecting your self care. When we are entering that burnout arena, and again, burnout doesn't happen overnight, it takes time. But when we enter that burnout arena, one of the first things that happens is we start neglecting our self care. And what do I mean by self care? Because you hear that phrase a lot, and many people may not understand what it completely means. It means making sure that you're taking care of yourself, both physically, mentally, spiritually, and any other describer that you can come up with. You need to take care of yourself. You need to eat well. That doesn't mean that you're skipping the brown bag lunches every day, but you should eat better than maybe you are. When I had my burnout, my nutrition plan was ordering something through a speaker, driving around the corner, paying for it, and getting handed a brown paper bag. And that was my 3 meals a day because I was working crazy hours and not sitting down and eating. I was basically inhaling this quote unquote food as my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Obviously, that takes a toll and gets you on cholesterol medications and potentially stents in your left anterior descending artery. Not that I know anything about that. When you neglect yourself from a food standpoint, that impacts your energy level because, again, your body needs to break down what you're consuming. So when you're eating foods that aren't really beneficial for you, your body is fighting that and trying to figure out, where do I sort this? It's kind of like taking a bag of garbage and recycling and all of that stuff, and you're throwing it all in and you throw it down. Now, if somebody has to sort it, they have to go through and say, okay, this is recyclable, this is compost, this is actually garbage, and go through that. Your body has to do that with everything that we consume, not only from a food standpoint, but from an information standpoint. So if you are parked on watching the nightly news or reading posts on all the doom and gloom of the world, guess what? That's going to impact your approach of life. That's going to impact what you're consuming, and it's going to impact how you live your life. If you focus on bad, negative things, you're inviting that to be a normal part of your life. It's like what you consume makes you. Now, I'm not saying to ignore what's going on in the world, but I am saying take it in a mindset of, this is something that's happening in the world. Can I, as an individual, do something about it? If you can't, don't worry about it. Is it impacting you directly? No, don't worry about it. Don't focus your time and energy on that. Focus your time and energy on being able to do the things that you can do to make the world better. Change comes within. And if you want to change the world, change yourself. Because if you change yourself and you're a better person, then your impact on the world is going to be better, which means it's going to impact the world. And that's something that you need to repeat every day. It's wash, rinse, repeat. Constantly do that. You're neglecting yourself and with what you're eating, what you're consuming, and not doing the things that bring you joy and happiness and fulfillment is going to have an impact, and it's going to increase your likelihood of either A, burning out, or B, staying in a burned out state for much longer than you want to. It's crucial for you to take care of yourself. You have to be the best version of yourself in order to be able to impact others. You can't let guilt and worrying about what other people think because you're taking care of yourself. They're going to project onto you what they think. They're going to say you're being selfish, or you don't care anymore, or why are you taking this position? That's being rude to whatever. That's them projecting onto you their beliefs, their thoughts, and things like that. Like Captain America used that shield and blocked that, because don't take that on. That's them projecting onto you their beliefs and thoughts. What you need to do is make sure that you're focusing on yourself first, because if you are your best self, when you do serve and choose to serve people or offer help or guidance, what's going to happen is you're going to be giving them a version that they have never seen before, and it's going to be better, and you're going to have a huge ripple effect on them and everything else that you do. But you have to take care of yourself first. Don't neglect yourself. Because when you do, it's going to create some long-term problems for you. There's a book called Disease to Please. I highly recommend you read this, and I highly recommend you read that book on an annual basis. I read it last Christmas. I have it on my calendar that I'm going to read it again this Christmas. It's a gift to myself to be able to look at what I am doing to see if I am doing things to please people instead of serving people. It's a big difference. You can serve people. You don't need to please them. Serve them. It's a big difference. Next up on the letters is the letter O.